Welcome to April's Garage, and if you wanted bargain luxury back in 1956, this was it. 1956 Studebaker President, top of the line trim. You know, you don't want a spring for Lincoln or Cadillac. This would have been right up your alley, Tyler Hoover.
Very much so. $2,500 in 1956. Adjusted for inflation today, that's about $30,000. So back then, American was making around $5,000 a year average to support a whole family, buy a house. That's the equivalent of like $50,000 a year today.
Right.
But they could buy a house for like today's equivalent of under $200,000. So were you really better off in the 1950s? That is the question based on what would have been like a mid-level executive car back in the day with the Studebaker, which was a cool brand before it went bankrupt.
It's a really cool brand, and you know, they still kind of made accessories like STP. You see that all over the place, right?
Right.
That's pretty cool. I think these are fun, and they were made in America, South Bend, Indiana, so that's kind of a cool startup, but they weren't as big as like the big three. They're not GM or Ford making millions and millions of cars. In 56, they only made about 85,000 cars, so they couldn't quite keep up with the big guys.
Yes, they were having a lot of trouble picking up with the big three, and they combined with Packard, another struggling company. That went out in the 50s, and then by the mid-60s, Studebaker was gone. Like the first one I ever saw, I think, was Fonzie in Muppets. He had like a Studebaker bullet nose, you know, they painted all crazy in the movie. And I thought that was cool, that Studebaker. So I knew about Studebakers even from when I was a little kid.
Right.
But I've never seen one like this. And this actually got traded in at Eddie's Volkswagen, of all places, in Kansas. It's for sale for $15,000.
Don't think about buying it. We need to pay our taxes.
We can't buy it, but it is really cool. And this thing is really heavily optioned for the year as well, including one really neat feature. But compared to today's cars, it's missing a lot of luxuries, but still, this thing is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. I'm going to see how it drives, though, because, you know, old cars feel clunky a lot. So I'm looking forward to that. Tyler drove it to the shop here.
Well, speaking of clunky, 1950s.
I thought you were going to say something about me.
No. I mean, everybody wants to be that microphone right now. But other than that, I mean, Packard and Studebaker, they thought the designs were a little clunky back in the 1950s. Compared to the other cars, you think of the 57 Chevy or what Ford was doing, these were a little different. And I don't know what you think.
They still look like the Chevys, though, don't you think? Just that, like, shoebox look.
I don't know. It's a little boxy.
Yeah, it's definitely boxy. You got the eyebrows peeking out, just like on the Bel Airs had them, too. Tons of heavy, heavy chrome. This bullet-style hood ornament.
Yes.
I mean, like, can you imagine the guy sitting in the room designing this, going back and forth on how long it should be shooting through something? Like, where did they get this idea from?
It is very cool. And yeah, you can see a lot of this is original. So it has been repainted, but most of the bright work and some of the trim, like this Studebaker badge, is original to this car and original interior. But they were pretty conservative with their styling. This looks like something from maybe the early 50s. They were kind of slow, so they weren't going to go big fin and go crazy and all that stuff. So that's why the back end.
But why didn't they do the big? Because that was the thing back then, was like the humongous fins. Like, that's where the styling went.
I feel like that they were kind of maybe a little slow to change. Also, they were struggling financially, so they couldn't really change as quickly year to year as some of the other cars, like the Tri-5 Chevy, 55, 56, 57. So dramatically different year to year, which kind of hard to compete with that. But this might have been appealing to an older audience, if you will, as well. I'm not sure.
Like your grandparents would have been like, ooh, did you see the Studebaker Presidente?
Right.
That's pretty nice. Now, the President was the top trim level, and I think it's pretty cool. They had 28 different paint color options. This is called like the lightning bolt stripe that goes all the way down. Can you imagine how hard it would be to find this stainless steel to replace it?
Right. But this one is in great shape, and you can see it has light wear on it. Like, this car was garaged, it was preserved and repainted once, but I wonder if they had kept the paint original. I mean, back in the 80s, 90s, when the paint's got a little bit, you know, it was cheap enough to repaint things back then that they just did it. And it's a shame because there'd be so many survivor cars that would have really cool patina original paint that didn't, because you could repaint these things for under $1,000 in the 80s, you know?
Right. I'm looking to see if there's any clues, maybe in the engine bay, to see if original clues, to see what the paint was like.
Well, the trunk, I think, is the coolest place to start, actually, because it is original. And I love the dual exit exhaust sort of built into the bumpers on these things.
Yeah, but they kind of look a little sad.
But twist this
Yes.
and open. since you have the use of both hands.
This is really heavy.
Yes.
Like there's no
People were
struts
stronger in the 1950s.
or shocks. Do I have to hold it?
Well, the springs have gotten a little weak because
Okay.
it is old and original, but this is the original trunk mat.
Wow.
And the jack
What?
and the wrench. But then this is, I believe, the first year for this option, air conditioning on this car, trunk mounted AC unit.
What? So that's high end back in 56.
Very
right?
much high end. And you can see original paint in here as far as the
Oh, yeah.
liner for the trunk and all that stuff. It's just all on the outside. So kind of a survivor, kind of not, but this air conditioning system, you can put it down.
It's really heavy.
It'll be okay.
But I'm scared I don't want to slam it.
It's pretty easy. Just some new springs would fix that right up. But then your air conditioning only comes out the back, and it's these plastic vents right here.
How amazing are those tubes back
Mm-hmm.
there? Like, this is so cool. This doesn't look like it would be factory, though. This
Totally factory.
Looks like something your dad would be like, okay, let me rig this up to get the air conditioning out.
Cadillac had this as well, but can you imagine for $2,500 back in 56,
Right.
your family's cruising cross country in air conditioning, which was just a few years ago, that was like luxury in a Cadillac where you were paying crazy money for it. So
Right.
definitely a big deal. Oh, you found the ashtray, huh?
Ashtray.
So your kids could smoke.
Exactly.
Your 8-year-old could light up in the back seat when you're doing the cross country trip.
This is original interior.
Original interior, and they haven't even fitted it with seat belts.
Oh, yeah.
Nowhere.
Oh my gosh, that doesn't seem. Is it? Are you sure? There's nothing.
Nope.
Yeah, I guess would that have been an option,
I don't think so.
or not even?
No.
That? And this original doors. This is really pretty.
A
There's
lot of different materials going on in colors.
Right. Yeah, that's right. And this is a crank window, so you have to manually move it up and down.
But not only that, but a rear vent, which is kind of nice to have.
That's like
Channel
the real
Samaritan.
old school air conditioning. So now you have two air conditioning systems on this car.
But you don't need it. And even the carpet is pretty cool to see, the original carpet in here. And it's not anything like a thick or woolly with it. It's just basically a mat.
Yeah, and the door sills have to have their own detail. Oh, that's a Studebaker.
It does. Isn't
Look
that
at
neat?
Art Deco font of Studebaker.
The scripting is everywhere, especially in the interior. The front seat's amazing, but we need to get to the engine bay next. And I'll need your strength again, April. Similar spring situation on this
Okay.
one. Original springs, and they're not holding it up. Oh, no, there's no hood pop there. This is
No?
the 1950s. Anybody
Really?
could just come and pop
Okay.
your hood. So it is down here.
Hold on, let a woman get it for you.
All right, lift her up.
Oh my gosh, stop it. Are you serious right now?
Yep.
I can't even. Okay.
$2,500 in 1956 got you a V8, which was pretty good.
That's fancy. 210 horsepower, I think.
That's really powerful for 1956.
But the car isn't super heavy. I think it was like 3,100 pounds or
Mm-hmm.
maybe 3,300 pounds. So it's like you could get pretty fast, and this may be up to 100.
But this is pretty crazy. Original wiring, original radiator.
Wait, does this hold it up?
Oh, we do have a prop rod. Okay. Give it a try here. Okay, gently down into that hole right here. Okay, your muscles can relax.
It's okay. It's stable.
Nice work.
I could feel the heat coming off that.
Nice work. So I guess no springs here. That wouldn't be enough to hold it up. But here's this massive, massive air conditioning compressor. It looks like an industrial refrigerator. I mean, it is so old and original, but still working, which is crazy. And then you can see the carburetor there. And what they call the engine? The Sweepstakes 289 with the checker flag. That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. I think this is the first year for this engine too.
It is definitely peppy for the car. And, only $15,000, that's pretty impressive. But in the collector car world, 4 doors is just not as desirable. So if this were a 2-door car in this condition, it'd probably be worth more than double.
So, but I was looking it up, and originally brand new, it's almost $400 more for the 4-door option.
Isn't that interesting? Obviously, they would have sold more 4 doors, but then mostly the 2 doors survive because they're more desirable.
Oh, that's true. Okay, that makes sense. Can you see any original paint?
This firewall here, so this would have been probably the factory paint color, and you can see there's a masking line right here. So it's kind of yellowed and faded over time, but there's some writing here, like air conditioning belt at 4,400. Either they're marking it what it is or how many miles, 4,400 miles.
Look, there's a whole air-conditioned tag. That's how special air conditioning was. It
I know.
has its own metal tag right there.
So from the factory, when it's going down the assembly line, they needed to make sure that people knew to install the air conditioning on the car as it went down the assembly line. So it had a gigantic tag so they did not forget. And it's still there. It's so cool. Also, the windshield wiper motor, it'd take about 5 minutes to change. It's not tucked in under cowling and a pain to reach. So easy to get to. The ignition, adjusting the carburetor, all the steering there. But once again, all original wiring, which I guess is okay. And it's still, yeah, it's still 6 volt. But we had original wiring in a 1923 Packard that, you know.
Stop it. It started smoking.
That was an incident.
Like a lot of cancer smoke it smelled like. And you're like, oh, it's fine. No, it wasn't fine. You were melting down.
Okay, go ahead and start it up, April.
Really? Is
Yes.
there any like special sequence
The
of
thing is,
startup?
no. Pump the gas once
Okay.
and turn the key. That really is it. Very nice.
That's smooth.
Give it a little rev.
Are you sure it's going to stay in the park gear?
It's in the, yeah, and we don't want it to hit that. No, but it's in park. It's fine.
Are
Give it a
you
little
for
rev.
sure?
It's fine. Yes. The sweepstakes, 289. And that is some very 50s soot coming out the back there. We would be suffocated in a matter of minutes, even in this big garage.
Oh my gosh.
The thing is, it has air conditioning,
Yeah.
but no power steering. So go ahead and try and turn the wheel to basically back up.
Stop it. This is what it's going to be like?
Yes. When you're moving, it's not as bad, but like in a parking stall.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's it's teamwork here.
It's a lot.
So maybe I'll get it out the garage for
No, I
you.
can do it.
You can do
Oh,
it?
wait, the Goldwing's there, so you do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
All right, and then we can take it for a spin, all right?
That's awesome.
So should we go out to the lookout point and park
Ooh, parking had another meeting.
with the doo-wop music?
You
Which
can't.
I do believe the radio works. Hello? Hello? Maybe not.
Maybe it's haunted because it did work sometimes.
I think it needs a minute to warm up. Yep, the tube warms up because it's original. That's... The tubes have to warm up.
This sounds so creepy in the best way possible.
It's Tom Jones.
How'd you
Anyway.
get that? Wow, look, what is it? There's a, for napkins?
Tissue
Tissue
holder.
holder? Mm-hmm. What? So that's like if you go to drive-in and you start crying and then
Right.
you get your tissues?
So the coolest part
Yes.
is obviously the speedometer.
It's the Cyclops Eye speedometer.
But it looks like a TV. In the 1950s, the TV was a new invention. It was the coolest thing ever. So they wanted their speedometer to look like an old tube television, and it is so cool. Along with these gauges,
Right,
the
okay.
fuel gauge comes and goes, but it's showing empty right now.
Uh-oh.
But it goes red when there's oil pressure. I'd put a little gas in it to make sure.
Right.
But see, coolant temperature all in the green. Amp would turn red. So very simple gauges.
Do you have to put special gas in or just
No.
anyone? Okay.
And this Bakelite, you know, all of them kind of do this where they shrink a little bit and crack, but that
Right.
was a more luxurious steering wheel, and there's that President logo.
Is there horn to horn work? No.
No, the horn doesn't work. But
All right.
look at the fonts. This is the thing that surprised me the most. See this font?
The President font.
But then
yes.
look down here at the air conditioning.
That's so pretty.
It looks like a retro font where you say, I type in retro font, and that is it right there.
Right.
Except this is actually not retro for 1956. That is like their modern font for the air conditioning.
Because this blower, pull for cold, like that looks pretty new font, but that looks old school, right?
Yes, exactly. So, pull for cold, blower one side, blower the other side,
It's
And we have-
windy.
working
Like,
air
can you see
conditioning.
my hair blowing? It's
I know.
literally blowing.
So there's different speeds to it. We'll put on the low for the audio.
So cool. Ooh, it's in here. Show me your secrets. What is that?
Old spark plug, or is this a radio tube? Radio tube. Look at that.
Exhaust pipe. The manual's in here. Stop
Wow.
it. Or a little brochure.
Look at that.
Look at how cool that is. So there's your 2-door and there's your 4-door right there. Wow, so this is something that like you and Doug love to read when you're on the toilet.
Exactly.
Very, very cool.
But once again, original interior, and it is so amazingly well preserved. It's got to be one of the nicest surviving original interiors of a Studebaker on the planet. Yeah,
Your
slightly
ashtray.
used ashtray. Of course, this is the 1950s, but these seats are in great shape.
Are they springy enough for you?
They're awesome, and it would be impossible to like recreate this material.
Right.
Anything. I mean, they try, but it doesn't look like this when it's been replaced. And this carpet, it's just interesting how it's worn into this pattern. It's really cool.
It's really pretty, and it's in really good condition for how old it is.
Yep.
Am I going to be able to drive this?
It's pretty easy once you're
Okay.
rolling as far as steering and stuff. But we have no seat belts, so
I know.
be careful.
Thanks for the last words.
But otherwise, I mean, no power brakes either. But it does feel
Wait, what?
the brakes aren't that hard.
Okay. Okay. Here we go.
But compared to say my 46 Chrysler,
Right.
this is a lot easier to drive.
So is this why the steering wheels were so big, because there wasn't power steering?
Yes, so
It's,
you
like,
can get leverage
easier?
on it. So when we come up to the end of the street and you have to make a right, that's where things are going to be a little stiff for you.
Gosh, the brakes, wait. I was not ready for them not to work right away. Sorry.
That's fine.
There's like, I don't even want to go because there's a car coming that way.
We were going right. It's okay.
Okay, but I want to wait for that car just because I'm...
Okay, but then there's
Should I
another
go?
one coming
Should
that
I go?
way. Yes.
Okay, I'm going. Here
All
we
right.
go. Ooh, see, that's why I wanted to read. This is so bad. All right, I got this. I just got to get used to it for a minute. That car's catching up on me.
Oh, you're really giving it the beans.
You like
and
that?
look how this speedometer moves.
I love the color change to it. Right
Yep.
now we're at 55.
55, 60 is in the red where it's really pushing it, but I did get it to 65 on the highway. And that's probably the most you would want to do for like a long sustained drive
Right.
as far as the way the engine's revving.
We're being passed. Hi. In your Hyundai. Here you go.
But for $2,500 or 30 grand in today's money,
Right.
you had air conditioning, cross-country travel capability at 60, 65 miles an hour comfortably, which is pretty impressive.
It is. I don't think I've ever driven a car this old. This is something, because you can feel everything. You can hear everything. You can feel everything. There's not like the luxuries of today with the power steering, power brakes, and all that. So
That's
I'm
the
paying
thing.
attention.
New cars are so expensive for a number of reasons. I mean, there's so much more packed into new cars,
Right.
and so many mandated safety features as well, as far as the engineering of the crumple zones and all that stuff, which is mandated by the government, but kind of necessary because people just died in car accidents
Right.
like most of the time,
Right.
like minor accidents, and they were
even
dead.
this is padded, which I don't know if originally it was padded.
I
That
think
might be a
so.
luxury item, but this was steel, and you would just hit your head on that and you'd toast.
Right. So, did they really have it better in 1956? I mean, you could buy a home
Right.
on 5 years of a salary.
Right.
You could buy a car for about half a year's salary on average.
Right.
Which is, I mean, it's not too different than today. Like Eddie's Volkswagen, for example.
Yeah.
Let's just say loan us this car. You can get a brand new Jetta for under $20,000, like $19,999, and you have a lot of luxury features like heated seats, that kind of stuff. So, are we really that much better off than the folks in the 1950s?
Right. No, I don't
Honestly?
think so. I think stuff costs a lot more today. Gas back then too was at 29 cents a gallon.
So they had it good in some ways, but they died in car accidents.
Right.
They dropped dead at 50 from heart attacks.
And women were not really allowed to work, so that's the thing.
But for this being your first 1950s car that you've ever driven,
Yeah.
you actually have it pretty good because modern V8 power,
Right.
so it can keep up with normal traffic. You have air conditioning. It's relatively comfortable. The steering is heavy, but once you go down the road, it's not that bad.
I just have to get used to it. You have to calibrate. Like when you drive an electric car, you kind of have to recalibrate your body and how you brake and how you turn and stuff like that. This is the same thing. I just need a minute to get used to it so I don't kill both of us. But I'm getting used to it. Kind of. Do I look like I'm fake driving because I'm turning the wheel?
So would you have been a Studebaker buyer in 1956?
I think this is like, because it's right in the middle, right? Because it's not super expensive like Cadillac or Lincoln, but you still have all the high-end trim options and air conditioning. And I think it's really cool. It's beautiful. It has style to it. The fins aren't the sexy, cool fins back in the day, which were trendy. So if you weren't into being trendy, this was the car you would buy.
You could have bought a 1956 Chevy
Right?
for the same money. I don't think you could have got air conditioning.
No way.
I don't think it was there yet.
No chance.
But 57 they were doing the fuel-injected, high-powerful motor on the 57 Chevys.
Right?
Fords, I mean, they had the Fairlane, they had some other stuff. You know, Pontiac was there as well. So there were a lot of options. It's easy to see why, you know, Studebaker and Packard and so many others were struggling, because there's just so many car brands back then.
There were, yeah, but this wasn't one of the big top 3, so you were kind of cool. Hold on, I'm going to try to brake and make this turn.
All right, brake and take a turn.
Wait, I'm so nervous.
You
right
can
now.
do it.
I don't want to hit that, whatever that
It's a car.
is.
It
What
still
is
does car
that?
things. Honda Fit.
Okay, I did it.
You did it.
It took a lot.
Nothing
You
to it.
didn't do it.
But 70 years of someone sticking their arm out the window right there, the
Ooh,
wear.
That's cool.
It's just so neat. I wish if it was original paint,
Right.
even if it had a lot of wear and tear on the original
Right,
paint,
right.
this would be in the garage. I'd be buying it instantly.
For real?
But otherwise, I mean, it's really cool. For the money, you're getting a 4-door car, and I get that's not as collectible, but
Right.
something that is usable daily driver like this,
Right.
that is just so cool looking.
Yeah,
For 15
they
grand?
don't make cars like this anymore. Just to
No.
have that two-tone styling with all the stainless steel trim on the side for no reason other than style. It's not helping you with aerodynamics or anything. It's just to look cool, and they don't make cars like that anymore.
Right.
So it's
And
really
it is
neat.
just so captivating to look at that speedometer. Like, I can spend all day just looking at that speedometer, just kind of go back and forth, and that weird kind of magnifying glass that's in there. It's just really neat.
It's really special. I love it. And are we good on fuel?
Yes. So it pops up after a while, but yeah, we have a third of a tank.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this has been like definitely an experience. Thank you, Eddie's Volkswagen, for lending it to us. And of course, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click that button down below.
Yes, we'll have that, and then also their website where you can click and check it out. So show them some traffic for loaning us a car, especially a 1950s car that April's never driven, but she's getting the forearm. She's getting the strength here. Yeah.